Hello, football fans. Welcome to AI Football Prediction Lab, Europe's most trusted prediction channel. Today is Sunday, April 20th, and we're back with another exciting episode. Our team of experts has been analysing all week to bring you the most accurate predictions for today's matches across Europe's top four leagues. And by the way, we're proud to say that our experts correctly predicted all four Europa League second leg matches last Thursday. You can check out all our winning predictions on our Instagram page. To see today's top predictions, make sure to watch the video until the end. And if you enjoy the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your fellow football fans. So let's kick things off with the English Premier League.
Hello everybody, Luca here, wishing you all a great Sunday on April 20th. In this episode, I'll be sharing my thoughts on the Premier League and the Bundesliga. I've spent the entire week analysing these Sunday matches, and I'm super excited to finally share my predictions with you. So let's not waste any time. Let's kick things off with the Premier League. Today, we've got four exciting matches lined up in England's top flight. Let's dive into the first one. One of the matches kicking off at 2 p.m. is between Fulham and Chelsea. Looking at Fulham first, their chances of finishing in the top 7 are relatively low, especially after last week's loss to Bournemouth. So I expect them to play a more relaxed style of football. They're a team that usually scores at home, and I believe they'll manage to find the net at least once in front of their fans. Let's not forget, just 2 weeks ago, they managed to beat Liverpool 3-2 at home. As for Chelsea, they suffered a disappointing 2-1 home defeat in the Conference League on Thursday. Despite that, they still managed to qualify for the semi-finals. But overall, they didn't play very well. Chelsea still have a realistic chance of finishing in the top 4, so they will be motivated. I believe they'll score at least once in this away game too. So overall, Fulham versus Chelsea promises at least 2.5 or even 3 goals. But for a safer prediction, I'm going with at least 2 goals in this match. My prediction for this game is over 1.5 goals. Another match kicking off at the same time is Ipswich Town versus Arsenal. Starting with Ipswich Town, they've already been relegated, so I believe they will no longer focus on a defensive approach. In fact, they'll probably try to play some good football in front of their fans as they say goodbye to the league, even though their opponent is Arsenal. That's why I don't expect them to sit back defensively. Still, I think they'll start the game calmly. On the other hand, Arsenal is definitely the most talked about team of the week. In their last match, they beat Real Madrid 2-1 at the Bernabeu and secured their place in the semi-finals. Now, how that victory will affect them in this match is hard to say. They could be overconfident and suffer a loss of concentration, which might make this game difficult for them or even cause them to drop points. Or maybe the motivation and confidence from the Real Madrid win will push them to play even better and show their full quality. It's really difficult to predict what kind of reaction Arsenal will show because we don't know their mental state going into this game. So my prediction is there will be no goal in the first 10 minutes of the match. Another match kicking off at 2 p.m, Manchester United host Wolverhampton at Old Trafford. Like Arsenal, it's very likely that Manchester United will also come into this match in a victory hangover. They played a 120-minute match on Thursday at home and beat Lyon 5-4 after extra time. It was an exhausting game, both physically and mentally, and it's hard to predict how that victory will affect them, especially since they don't have anything to fight for in the league. So this Thursday night battle may lead to some fatigue and a drop in focus for United. Of course, I still believe they'll manage to score at home. But Wolverhampton, who have already avoided relegation, will approach this match without pressure, and I think they will score too. Let's not forget that Manchester United conceded 4 goals against Lyon, including 2 goals in just 15 minutes even after their opponent went down to 10 men. Their defense is still sending alarm signals. My prediction, both teams to score. In the final match of the day, relegated Leicester City take on title-chasing Liverpool. Leicester have already been relegated, so there's no pressure on them anymore. Their fans will still pack the stadium for this match, and the players will likely try to play an open and entertaining style of football instead of sitting back. Also, since many of these players are looking to prove themselves for potential transfers or future opportunities, they'll be motivated to perform well, especially in a high-profile match like this. As for Liverpool, this match could theoretically still lead to a title, but it's a very low probability. Even if they win, they can't secure the title mathematically unless Arsenal lose away to Ipswich. Most likely, Liverpool will grab 3 points here and aim to lift the trophy next week at home by beating Tottenham, so they'll approach this match without heavy pressure. The title is almost guaranteed, over 99% likely, so they'll simply focus on playing their own attacking football. I expect Liverpool to score at least 2 goals. Leicester might get one too, but even if they don't, I still think we'll see over 2.5 goals in this match. My prediction, over 2.5 goals. Now we move on to the Bundesliga, where 3 matches will be played this Sunday. The first one kicks off at 14:30 between Augsburg and Eintracht Frankfurt. Augsburg is a team that has been putting up decent performances at home, and while a top 4 finish might be a stretch, they still have hopes for finishing in the top 6. A win here could bring them closer to the European qualification spots, as the point gap isn't too wide yet. On the other hand, Frankfurt are coming off a draining Europa League quarter-final second leg on Thursday, where they lost 1-0 at home to Tottenham Hotspur and were eliminated from the tournament. The match lasted nearly 100 minutes, including added time, and it surely took a toll on them both physically and mentally. Now their sole focus is the league, but recovering quickly might not be easy. That's why I think Frankfurt could struggle in this game. I'm leaning toward the Augsburg +2 handicap option. I don't see Augsburg losing at home, and even if they do, it will likely be by no more than 1 goal. In the second match of the day in Germany, Borussia Dortmund will host Borussia Mönchengladbach. Looking at the league table, Mönchengladbach are currently 2 points ahead of Dortmund, which makes this a crucial game for the home side. Earlier this week, Dortmund faced Barcelona in the Champions League quarter-finals and managed a stunning 3-1 win, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to go through. Still, their performance surprised many because most people expected them to struggle, but they proved otherwise. Even though they were eliminated, they regained confidence and reconnected with their fans. Guirassy scored a hat-trick and was the hero of the night. Now back in the Bundesliga, Dortmund are entering the final 5 matches of the season, and they're aiming to finish in the top 4, so they will likely start the game with intensity. Mönchengladbach are a solid competitive team, and they'll fight hard too, especially as they're also pushing for a top 6 finish. But when it comes to this match specifically, I can't confidently say Dortmund will win. So, my safer prediction here is that we'll see at least 1 goal in the first half. And in the final match of the day, St. Pauli will host second-placed Bayer Leverkusen, last season's champions. They look like serious contenders again this year and stayed in the title race until the very end. However, in the last 5 or 6 weeks, they dropped points in matches they were expected to win, and as a result, they couldn't catch up with Bayern Munich. Right now, there's a 6-point gap, and while second place seems certain for Leverkusen, winning the title this season looks unlikely. It seems like after last year's success, some players have struggled with motivation and focus. This season, Leverkusen haven't been as convincing, and I personally don't believe they'll be champions again. Still, in this away match against St. Pauli, a team that has almost secured their place in the league, I think Leverkusen won't lose. My prediction is Bayer Leverkusen double chance. Alright, kings and queens, that's it from me for today. Stay tuned as we move on to La Liga and Serie A action.
Hello everyone, my name is Chloe. In this section, I'll be sharing the matches to be played on Sunday in Italy and Spain. I've analyzed these matches throughout the week. Based on my analysis, I'll be giving you the most likely outcomes for each game. So, let's get started with Spain. In the opening match of the La Liga week, Real Valladolid will host Osasuna. Real Valladolid has started to play with more confidence and a more attacking style after moving away from relegation worries. Their strong performance against Atletico Madrid was especially impressive. This relaxed mindset allows them to take more risks and focus on scoring goals. However, the injury of goalkeeper could be a key absence for the home team. Osasuna has had an up-and-down season. They often end up with draws and manage to stay in the game. The absence of Brian Zaragoza and Garcia Haro might limit their attacking options. Still, Budimir is always a goal threat for the visitors. I believe Osasuna will score at least 1 goal in this game. my prediction is away team to score over 0.5 goals. Villarreal and Real Sociedad will face each other in what promises to be an exciting match with plenty of goals. Villarreal will be missing one of their key players, Alex Baena, due to injury. On the other side, Real Sociedad are also struggling with absences. Zubimendi is suspended, while Barnechea, Odriozola, Aguerd, and Becker are all injured, which could weaken their defense. Even though Sociedad have some quality players, they've dropped a lot of points this season and are now far behind in the Champions League race. They'll likely try to score here, but in doing so, they may leave gaps at the back. Villarreal are still aiming to finish in the top 5 and secure a Champions League spot. They're one of the teams with the fewest losses and usually play attacking football. Since both teams will be looking to score, I expect a high-tempo match. In particular, I expect the home side to attack throughout the game, leading to several corners. Therefore, my prediction is Villarreal over 4.5 corners. In a match that concerns the lower part of the table, Sevilla will face Alaves. This game is crucial for both sides. Sevilla are looking to put an end to their losing streak, while Alaves are fighting to stay clear of the relegation zone. Alaves have been more focused in recent matches, especially against stronger opponents. However, they are missing key defenders, which could cause problems at the back. Sevilla, on the other hand, have lost their last 4 games and are low on morale. They'll also be without a couple of important players for this clash. For Alaves, every match is a matter of survival. They're expected to start cautiously, but Sevilla will likely push for a goal in front of their home fans. If they score first, Alaves will be forced to attack, which could open up the game. That's why I expect at least 2 goals in this match. Real Madrid will host Basque side Athletic Bilbao in the most anticipated match of Sunday. With the title race heating up, Madrid desperately need a win. However, they'll be without one of their key players, Mbappé, who is suspended. Bilbao, on the other hand, will arrive with less pressure, as their 4th-place position is nearly secured. Earlier this week, Madrid played a tough and emotional match, leaving the team both mentally and physically drained. Meanwhile, Bilbao enjoyed a comfortable home win over Glasgow and took a big step toward the final, which will be played in Bilbao. That victory boosted their morale, and they'll be looking to sit deep, defend well, and use their pace on the counter to take advantage of Madrid's tired legs. Considering the circumstances, I expect at least 1 goal from Athletic Bilbao in this match. Now let's move to Italy Serie A. In the opening match, Empoli will play at home against Venezia in a very important game for both teams, as they are fighting to avoid relegation. Venezia will miss their main goalkeeper Stankovic and defender Svoboda due to injuries. These 2 players are important for the team. On the other side, Empoli will be without Male, Kouame, and defender Ardian Ismajli. Empoli hasn't won a match since December 13th, and they have been in very bad form. Because of this, they are under a lot of pressure and can't afford to make mistakes. Venezia, on the other hand, has played low-scoring matches in the last 8 weeks. They will probably try to play the same defensive style in this away match. Because both teams need to be careful, the under 3.5 goals option looks like a safe bet. Another good choice could be over 7.5 corners, as both teams might create chances from set pieces. In another important match in Italy, Bologna will host Inter in a high-stakes clash. Bologna will be missing some key players. Goalkeeper Skorupski, midfielder Ferguson, and defender Calabria are all out. For Inter, Dumfries and Zielinski will also miss the match due to injury. Inter played a tough midweek game and used a lot of energy, but they managed to advance to the next round. They're feeling confident, but they are well aware that if they drop points here, Napoli could quickly catch up. Bologna are fighting hard for a Champions League spot and will give everything on the pitch. Both teams are expected to approach the match with caution, but will still look to score through their quality attacking players. Over 1.5 goals looks like the best and safest option for this match. Milan will play at home against Atalanta in the last game on Sunday. Milan haven't been very convincing this season, but they are still quite effective in front of goal. Walker, Maignan, and Jimenez are currently injured. Although Jimenez might still make it to the squad, it's not confirmed yet. Atalanta will be without Scalvini, Kolasinac, and De Ketelaere. Despite losing their title hopes, they are having a strong season and remain in the Champions League race. Interestingly, in Atalanta's last 9 matches, both teams did not score. However, this match is expected to be different. That's why I expect both teams to score in this one.
Hello again, everybody. Thank you for watching the video till the end. And now, as always, it's time for the top prediction of the day. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next episode. Take care of yourselves.